I got an email from somebody I never met before.
On Women's Wear.
Over here.
I think that's even cute, so yes, posted.
It is easy for women to get lost in a sea of historic rhetoric, swimming against the current. Women have had to speak louder to get their voices heard. They've had to create a room of their own. On Women's Web, we open the doors and peer inside with women who have found a room and encourage others to do the same. Join Daniela on Law FM 103.9 every Tuesday and Thursday at 10 to 10:30 a.m. as we bring Women Matters alive. Exclusive.
Hold on tight. I'm Olufemi Pedro.
I'm Omoyele Showore.
My name is Honorable Akim Dixon.
This is Honorable Adekunle Akobada.
I'm Billy Momodu, and you are listening to Law FM 103.9 for knowledge and entertainment. Your only law radio station.
You won't get knowledge, you won't get wisdom. Continue to listen to Law FM 103.9 for knowledge and entertainment.
Power Corridor on Law FM 103.9.
This is Power Corridor on Law FM 103.9, your only law radio station where you hear the law, talk the law, and know your rights like never before. It's quite an intense day in the city of Lagos. My name is Yray, sitting in for Gbola Oba, or doing this alongside Mr. Gbola, who is on our phone lines at the moment. And because of the intensity of things in the city today, we are running late with our guest, and we don't know how far that will go before we may have to reschedule. But while that is on, I have Mr. Gbola on the line, and together we'll just, talk on other things to keep the show going. Hello, Mr. Gbola.
The thing I need to do first is to apologize to listeners for giving them the impression that our guest was literally sitting in the studio. I think I misunderstood the information given to me, so I want to use this opportunity to apologize to our listeners that our guest is as close to the studio as I am, but let's be very honest ourselves, the traffic is literally gridlocked. So, Mama Yray, would you want to banter whilst we just wait for our guests to make it to the studio?
Yes, I would very much like that to keep things going. And just to remind our callers, I think we already have someone calling on the phone lines already. And I think that's a really good thing because, we lost that call almost immediately. But this is to also let our callers, our listeners know that you can call into the show. You can be a part of the show if you have any questions for Mr. Gbola, especially. The number to call is 070-322-77338. Again, that is 070-322-77338 or 090-9555-1039. Mr. Gbola, are you there?
I'm perfectly here.
All right. Okay, so let's
just by your side electronically.
Isn't that good? I mean, let's even take a moment to appreciate the beauty of technology. A few years ago, this kind of conversation would not have been possible.
But it's that where we are now with technology, virtual meetings, virtual engagements are the reality of the world we live in. I was part of an ongoing course at the Center for Management Development this morning for consultants. It's an inevitable course that consultants have to do in Nigeria, and I did basic of the course last week. For 1 week, we're doing the advanced. And everything has been literally online, virtual.
Yes.
So it's the new face of the world, and we better maximize the opportunity it presents.
Speaking of opportunities, I was just going to ask a question off the top of my head, because this question is largely because I think we can do basically everything with technology these days. I remember in the year 2020, we had weddings online. And these weddings, I mean, I know of at least one that is still successful today. So I can say for me, technology has been very impressive. But for you, do you think it has been a blessing or a curse or both?
Oh, overall, it's been a blessing. But like just about any other phenomenon on the face of the earth, nuclear energy could be used to generate power to make life easy for human beings. And the same nuclear energy could be used to literally obliterate the world, practically, the life, out of the earth. Just think about anything. What the internet presents as an opportunity now was what the invention of writing presented and printing presented some hundreds of years ago. And you know what happened when that invention came stream? It was possible, just using the example now, it was possible to transcribe the Bible to a textual asset. But the first man that did it, at least in England, was burnt at the stake. It was literally burnt. So sometimes because we don't understand the opportunities well, sometimes because we have a hidden agenda, sometimes because as human beings we always vacillate between the glorious and the preposterous. We tend sometimes to mismanage the opportunities that such phenomena present. So for me, overall, technology has been a blessing. I told you I'm undergoing a course, and this today for about 5 hours, I was being edified with some of the, being in an e-classroom with some of the most brilliant Nigerian consultants, some based in Nigeria, some based in the US. But to practice in Nigeria now as a consultant, you must do that course.
Yeah.
And I was getting blessed with the richness of their intellectual persona. So for me, technology overall cuts to the side of a plus than a disadvantage.
All right, that's very good to know. Let's move on now to some topical issues on our national dailies. But I don't know, I would like to discuss more relatable matters, particularly one that has prevented you from being in our studio physically today, which is the traffic situation in Lagos. You're not the first person to complain, and it's been like a reoccurring situation for about 3 weeks and running. We thought initially that it was the petrol scarcity and it was going to get better, but it doesn't seem like it's going to change anytime soon. What's your opinion?
My opinion is that Lagos is the only mega city I know on the face of the earth. If anybody has a contrary information, that person could correct me. But Lagos is the only mega city on the face of the earth. And a mega city means a city that has more than 10 million residents functioning in that city on a normal day. Lagos is the only mega city I know on the face of the earth that practically does not have a light rail system. So, majority, 99% of movements in Lagos is vehicular. It means that for you to move from one point to the other in Lagos, if you are not literally walking, you have to either be on a moped or a contraption like a Marwa or a car or a sport utility vehicle, light truck, or even moving goods and heavy stuff. Likely vehicular. I cannot see how such a city can function without an inevitable form of gridlock as we usually encounter. Even cities that are well planned with rich and robust alternative means of transportation, like London, like many other mega cities, with the tube, with rail, those cities are still sometimes gridlocked. So it's the reality until we can at least believing that we see the blue line being retested now. We know that work is going on aggressively on the red line. one can only hope and pray that these things, are delivered to date, and they will naturally reduce the magnitude of the nastiness of Lagos traffic.
Okay, but the thing is, the traffic that we have had to experience in the days leading up to today, and most likely would experience the days leading up to Christmas, is quite unusual. Even it runs into midnight. So I would think that these cars that you have mentioned are things that are synonymous with Lagos. There are always going to be cars, there are always going to be people in their numbers, but it doesn't seem like it's getting better.
For somebody born and raised in Lagos like me, I don't see that unusual this time of the year. And you know why it's not unusual for me? I know that commercial activities at about this time are quite. Hello?
I'm listening to you. I'm with you.
I know that commercial activities at about this time of the year are quite more pronounced. That's number one. Number two is, like I said earlier on, most of our movements are based on vehicular objects. And because people have to do their Christmas rounds and all the shopping and all the aggressive sales, moving stores, for years and years, even decades prior to even my emigration from Nigeria about 27 years ago or 28 years ago, by returning to Nigeria a couple of years ago, it's been, I often envisage it. It's not strange to me anyway. That is Lagos. For those of us who are Lagosians, I'm not talking about somebody who is a woman.
You had to go there.
Sorry, I just have to be a bit cheeky.
No problem.
You know how it is in Lagos. After all, you are a borrowed Lagosian.
Wow. Okay. No problem. Sooner or later, we will leave the Lagos for you people. We will return our debt. But just to remind people listening to us, this is Power Corridor with Gbola Oba, and my name is Yray, doing it alongside with him. And the number to call to join the conversation, if you have questions, thoughts, and opinions, or even contributions, the number is 070-322-77338 or 090-9555-1039. I just stumbled upon this news beat, Mr. Gbola, if you're still listening. This news beat here says NDDC board legislators disagree over Onochie's nomination. NDDC's board legislators disagree over Onochie's nomination. I am curious to know what your thoughts are concerning the disagreements and the back and forth that's been ongoing, revolving around Onochie's nomination, that is.
It is the constitutional prerogative of the president to nominate for appointment a Nigerian who meets all the criteria stipulated in the Constitution to fill that office. And the president has exercised his constitutional prerogative by nominating her for appointment. However, it is also the constitutional prerogative that the Senate of the Federal Republic of Nigeria must vet people nominated for such appointments and ultimately, by a simple majority, ratify the nomination to become a substantive appointment. So, as it is now, the Senate, and there are 109 members of the Senate. I wonder if every one of them would just want to support. I would doubt that every one of them would want to support our nomination. And you must remember that the president's party has the majority of membership of the red chamber, the upper chamber. So I am one who believes that she is ultimately going to be confirmed, but those who have dissenting opinions about our nomination will naturally have the right to speak on the floor of the hallowed upper chamber of the Nigerian Legislative legislative establishment.
Okay, Mr. Gbola, I have to stop you there because I think you'd like to know that our guest is now seated here in the studio, and to get things started on a prime and proper note, let us take a quick break and return with this conversation. How about that?
I'm also less than 2 minutes away from the studio.
Impressive. So Lagos is not entirely, all that bad. So we the borrowed Lagosians can still stay here. Impressive.
Diligent people would ultimately make it work.
All right.
It's about improvising and maximizing opportunity.
Okay, so I will see you soon. All right, this is Power Corridor on Law FM 103.9. My name is Yray, holding it down for Gbola Oba. And of course, the conversation will continue all the way to 6 p.m. To be a part of it, all you have to do is call, text, or send a WhatsApp message. You would also like to know that we are streaming the session live on our Facebook page. But we'll take a quick break now and return with more talk time.
Hold on tight. I'm Olufemi Pedro.
My name is Honorable Akim Dixon.
This is Honorable Adekunle Akobada.
I'm Billy Momodu, and you are listening to Law FM 103.9 for knowledge and entertainment. Your only law radio station.
FM 103.9.
This is Law FM 103.9, your only law radio station for all things knowledge and entertainment. My name is Yray, and it's still Power Corridor with Gbola Oba, and of course myself doing this side by side this Friday, the 16th day of December 2022. This show today, special edition, is going to run up till 6:30. So yes, in case you're worried, you do not. We've not even started with the guests. We're just about to. So you still have time to call. You have time to send a text message or a WhatsApp message. You should also know that we're streaming live on Facebook. That is to say that you can be a part of the conversation on our Facebook live stream. Facebook is Law FM 103.9. Again, that is Law FM 103.9. Also, you can, join the conversation on Twitter. It is Law FM_radio, and use the hashtag Power Corridor. Again, that is Law FM_radio on Twitter, and use the hashtag Power Corridor. The studio number 070-322-77338 or 090-9555-1039. Hello, Mr. Gbola, are you there?
Hello, why I'm perfectly electronically and virtually with you.
No, right. So before we introduce the guest, you can just give us the historical background as usual.
Okay, as we usually do. Our guest today is a son of a famous Lagos family. He attended the prestigious King's College, Lagos, and from there proceeded to St. Cloud University, Minnesota, USA, where he bagged a Bachelor of Science degree in Political Science. He also has a master's degree in public administration from Pace University, New York, USA. As a student in the US, Igbo, as is fondly called, secured a wealth of experience in criminal justice administration. I just want to wrap it up synoptically, summarily, by saying I've never felt a sense of dynastic relationship with any family before, except on this occasion. My first time I interviewed the father as the sitting senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. I was resident in England and I guested on a show that I used to host in London, England. When it was contested subsequently for the governorship of Lagos, I also had the privilege of flying in from England to interview me. Now I am interviewing the son we have today, Ibrahim Babajide Obanikoro, popularly called Ibo. Good evening this evening.
Good evening this evening to you, sir, and thank you for the introduction.
It's a pleasure to have you in our studios. We must also say that you are an incumbent member of the House of Representatives, but I am of the opinion that your contest in 2023 will be about the hottest, if not the hottest, of the House of Representatives contestations, because your main opponent is a well-known celebrity. How are you preparing for that electoral battle galactico?
Well, I want to believe that I have been preparing myself way before I got into office. As you know very well, I have been contesting for elections in Nigeria since 2010. My first election was in 2011, second was in 2011, third was in 2015, and the fourth was in 2019. And if you go back to records, all those elections have been keenly contested, even when I was in the opposition party. Contested enough to claim victory at the polls. So I believe this is my terrain, this is my turf, and it's where I understand too well. And I believe that the last 3 years and 6 months, I've been able to show to the good people of Eti-Osa that what representative and representation is about. And our record, I'm sure before the end of the day, will spill out, speaks for itself, and they are there for the eyes to see.
So I hope you are not disrespecting the fact that you have one of your opponents who, because of the recognition of his name or the recognition of his face, may swing it against you.
In politics, I am popular does not win you election. It takes more than to be popular to win elections. You need more than fine face, you need more than popular face, you need more than popular name. And if you want to talk about fine face, I think I equal that. If you want to talk about popular name, I think I also equal that. So that is not something to scare me with. I think in that department I am well matched with my opponent.
Oh, sorry. I had to do a bit of a dash.
It's needed once in a while, sir.
Okay. You didn't quite start with any of the legacy parties that culminated in the APC. You started from the other side.
Yes.
And I remember that the first election you had, it was alleged that you were robbed electorally. But now you are a member of the establishment, and I hope you people are ready to play fair and square this time.
I have always played by the books, and I will continue to play by the books. We will play free and fair. And we've always, funny enough, I was Eti-Osa as a place. Since I have been contesting the election, Eti-Osa is arguably one of the safest places to campaign. We hardly have issues during campaign. We hardly have issues on election day. So there is no reason why we shouldn't have.
It's a mainly upper middle class constituency anyway. You've got Lekki Phase 1, you've got
Ikoyi,
VI,
Ibrahim Babajide Obanikoro. Everywhere now is almost eyebrow in Eti-Osa. It's the fastest growing corridor in Nigeria and arguably West Africa.
What do you intend to do to address some of the fundamental challenges of that constituency, given the fact that many Nigerians or many of the residents of the constituency may not quite feel the need. The government is far away from them anyway. They generate their own power. We are literally generating our own power here. They generate their own power. They generate their own water. They basically have to live by what they can do for themselves. So what's the relevance of somebody like you or the Nigerian legislature to the average resident of this constituency?
Well, thank you for that question. As much as you feel that the government is far from the people, I beg to disagree that we are just as close as you feel that we are as far. I agree with you, because in my house as well, I power my house when when PHCN does not give me light. I use diesel. I give myself water, and basically at times I provide my own security. But truth be told, Eti-Osa is not arguably another safe local government even within Lagos State. That is because the government has also been able
so safe that a couple of days ago we had a video that went viral of some boys rampaging commuters and people in traffic practically breaking their breaking their vehicles glasses, and
for some reason I have not heard of that. I have not seen of that. And there is nowhere that is safe. There is nowhere that is 110% safe or 100% safe in the world. Everywhere has it. Even
you take me out to New York,
even Washington DC,
okay,
where you have the White House.
You take me on
there are pickpockets here and there. So that is allowed. But by and large, Eti-Osa is a safe place, and we're making sure it's safe. That is why we have a policy that we are driving. No dark spots in Eti-Osa. So we've facilitated minimum 300 solar street lights across Eti-Osa, trying to reduce the dark areas that we have, and we have more coming in that we've requested for. And
a state government project, or
no, this is I facilitated this. No, it's not my constituency project. There's no such thing as constituency project. I facilitated
don't play fast one on me. We know how this thing works.
I'm sure before the end of the program, I would educate a lot of my listeners across Lagos what you refer to as constituency project. So I hope they will understand it, that there is no such thing as constituency allowance that everybody is always talking about.
No, I never said allowance. I said constituency project.
Even constituency project, you don't do it.
I never said you did it. Exactly. I never said it, but you make sure during the passage of the appropriation bill that some things are
in the
budget,
yes,
with a view to uplifting the quality of life of your constituents.
Thank you very much.
Abi?
Yes.
So because you want to escape, you want to play a jar with me now.
I'm not escaping.
You almost denied even what you must have gotten by your effort.
No, because you understand it.
Okay.
To detail, to the letter is why. I know a lot of people don't understand. That's why I said.
They think you must have pocketed the money.
Some people just think that they give you constituency project to go and do. They don't understand that what you mean by constituency project is that I have to make sure that I am able to put something in the budget. If I am not able to do that, you don't get anything.
It's just that we know the executive arm of government implements it, but one way or the other, because it's going to be executed in your constituency, you may have a wink or a nod to the company that may ultimately do it. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I understand where you're going, but it's not.
Oh, you understand that?
Yes, it's not it's not as easy as ABC. You are spelling it out. The work we put through, the legwork you do, the conversation, the energy that you put through to make sure these things are done.
Oh no, nobody can deny you that. And some criteria must have been set.
Of course.
Some criteria must have been set for you to be the one representing the well-educated, well-exposed, largely well-traveled constituents of Eti-Osa federal constituency. But having said that, this is not supposed to be a show between myself and you alone. We've got people listening to us.
Okay.
And some of them may want to ask you questions. The numbers to call, should you want to directly ask questions of the honorable member of the House of Representatives representing Eti-Osa Federal Constituency, Ibrahim Babajide Obanikoro. The numbers are 070-322-77338. 070-322-77338 or 090-9555-1039. 090-9555-1039. You can also send SMS and WhatsApp messages on those numbers. Okay, now that we have an agreement that there is something called constituency project because somebody articulated the fact that it must be injected in the in the appropriation bill, and ultimately when the president signs the appropriation bill and becomes the budget, you will also make sure that you chase it to make sure that the project is implemented, although ostensibly by the executive arm of government, but you are not far, like we have agreed to.
No, I've not agreed to.
Okay.
I've not agreed to.
Like we have agreed to, that you will also make sure that the company that will implements it to the expectation that made you to fight tenaciously for it to be injected.
Yes, to that extent.
We are agreeing on so many things.
But before unfortunately we didn't start like we should start. I was going to request for about a minute of silence because I lost a godfather that was extremely dear to me yesterday.
Yeah.
And the person of Ambassador Ademola Razak Seriki. So I was going to request for about a minute of silence for him.
We will gladly
if you can
do that.
honor me that.
Yeah.
So.
Welcome back to Power Corridor on Law FM 103.9. We still have our esteemed guest in the studio. We want to join him to commiserate with Lagosians for the passage of an iconic Lagosian in many respects, a legend in his own right, Ambassador Seriki. It was a very perturbing news when I heard yesterday too, but we all hold that debt, and one day we will all pay it. But may his soul rest blissfully in the bosom of his maker. Honorable, you seem to be quite confident that this is your election to lose. You know that you are the.
Yes.
And something is telling me that with the introduction of beavers, and if your main opponent could walk precincts like Lekki Phase 1 and get the turnout to be right, you may be on the borderline, because there seems to be some bit of anger against the traffic situation against your party. How would you respond to that?
Anywhere you go in the world, sir, the government of the day is always the enemy of the people. There is hardly anywhere you go that people by and large will support the government and say, oh, this is our government. After, when you come in, they will embrace you, but after about 6 months, 8 months, a year, everybody starts
often, as you're making that point, very controversial point, often now I'm thinking
anywhere in the world, sir.
I'm thinking Modi, as yesterday when I was reading in the Economics magazine, Modi in India still commands about 70% approval rating. The president of Turkey still commands about 60-something% approval rating. Like you rightly said, though,
everybody will not be the same, but majority.
Okay.
And we've been in government for about, if you look at the APC since 2015, we've been in government. So it's normal that people would be angry. But when election comes, that's why I always tell people, let us follow issue-based campaigns. Forget all the lies flying around or campaign of negative campaign. Forget all that. Let's look at the issues on ground, and you see that people will still tend to, when election gets close.
What are the issues that you are campaigning with?
Well, as a legislator, my roles are not too many. My role is to make laws, edit laws, repeal laws. My roles are to ensure that the budget is oversight the function of the executive arm of government, that whatever it is that we approve to you in the Budget Act is what you're doing, or if you have not completed it, at what stage or what state are you in. That's my role as a legislator. And you now have the social angle to my role as well, which is be the representative of the people. Let them see you, let them hear you, then you speak for them, you hear out their pains and speak to the heads that
so
can relieve them.
What are the issues you're speaking for them?
I'm going there. I've spoken for them in every arm of their daily lives, from education to health to infrastructure to basic needs. You name it. I've done that. And let's start with education. I remember in 2019 when we were campaigning, we realized that we have two constituencies, constituency 1 and 2. Constituency 1 has schools that don't have enough facility. Constituency 2 has schools with infrastructure that can accommodate more students. So you find out that your children are flying from Ajash, from Gotedo, all the way to VI and Ikoyi to school. Excuse me. And one of the first ways to first tackle that is to provide a huge bus that takes about 200 kids at once. The day I saw it, even me, I was like, oh my God. Because you have them sitting down, lapping each other, standing. But the point is that bus puts all your children in one place, and the bus goes from Aja to Ikoyi and back to Aja after school hours. Your children are safe. They are not hopping from one bus to the other, from one bus stop to the other. That eliminated that. And over the time, we've been able to facilitate at least.
You eliminated it to replace it with what?
With a bus, so that instead of your children's safety, I was taken care of by the school bus.
So you got the mega carrier.
Yes, that takes them from Aja to Lekki and back. To Ikoyi and back. Not every day, because diesel cost has made it a bit tough to manage.
You got it recently when diesel cost went up? Or?
No, we got it in 2020. It's been running since 2020.
Somebody listening to you now may say, but you were only copying Kakware. Kakware started it in motion about 20 years ago.
Somebody must start something.
Somebody just sent in this message and it says, "Evening, Rep. Obanikoro. Are you related to Senator Obanikoro that contested in Lagos West?"
Yes, that's my father.
Okay, just go on.
Okay, so after we did that, we now face the lasting solution that we believe would be adequately tackling the effect. So we started facilitating schools to constituency 1 to give more facility and take more students. We did in Ajiron, we did in Okwaja, we did in 4 schools. I can't remember their locations.
4 precincts.
4 different local areas. So I can't remember their areas anymore now. But the point is that those schools can now take more students. So the effect is that lesser students will be coming to school here. So, and the ultimate goal is that we are going to have more schools in this area. So children can be going to schools in their area and not have to travel, save you travel time, give you enough time to study.
It's just that if I were to be one of the constituents or one of the residents of those areas you've forgotten, I'll be thinking, even my member of the House of Representatives does not remember the name of my neighborhood. I'm just thinking aloud.
It's not a matter of me. If you want me to start mentioning the neighborhood,
I was just thinking aloud.
I will start.
If you want to do it, why not go?
I will do it. I just don't remember where the schools are. But I know we have one in Ajiro. We have one in the resettlement area in Ajay. I think we have one in Okwaja, and I can't remember where the last one is.
Okay, so never mind.
But like I said, if you need me to start naming all the,
it's not a bad idea. It's not a bad idea if you really want to do it, because sometimes I know that politicians play the element. They play the kind of braggadocio.
No, not. I'm a Lagosian, indigenous Lagosian that understands Lagos like the back of my hand.
The numbers to call, should you want to directly ask questions of comment or give any opinion, in so much as you keep it clean and tidy and not abusive, with Honorable Obanikoro, the numbers are 070-322-77338, 070-322-77338, or 090-9555-1039, 090-9555-1039. The program has been elongated a bit because of the glitches we had starting at the prompt time of 5 p.m.
So,
Honorable,
sir, still on education.
Yeah.
So still on education, we also try to help some of our less privileged parents to, we provide free JAM form and GCE form for their students. And what we also do every summer is that we, when it's about 3 weeks to resume, we do what we call JAM summer coaching, whereby we get teachers to prepare our students.
Who pays for all that?
I do. Where we get students from my personal pocket, not constituency.
And I'm wondering,
not constituency projects.
And I'm wondering, if you pay for all that, you pay for their JAM forms.
Yes.
You pay for
GCE,
for revision coaching,
to prepare them for the next class they are going into.
And I know some characters too in the constituency will be coming to knock on your door to remind you that you are to be more and this thing as in pay for people's. I wonder if we are not promoting a form of irresponsibility amongst, or culturalizing irresponsibility, amongst our people.
Well, as a people, the little I understand about the Yoruba culture, this is part of our culture. It is our culture. It is our duty to look out for our brothers and sisters, and I consider this as one of the life engagements, where if you have the opportunity to give or help, go ahead and do it. And though we are also trying everything within our powers to try and let people understand that because I'm in government does not mean I have unlimited resources, or that your problems are solved every time you come to me. We try to preach that all the time. I try to let people know. So now the amount of requests of assistance that I get, if I can't even attend to all of them. So with experience, you get to know the ones when you start filtering. Okay, this one must attend. This, doesn't need your attention.
Would it not, as a legislator, would it not have been nicer and a bit more functionally tidy if you were to promote a bill, a private member's bill, speaking to the institutionalization of welfare system that will capture or countenance such things? Because what this seems to be engendering, the way I see it, is that your paper salary cannot bear some of the responsibilities that people would want to push on you.
No, you can't.
And the average Nigerian out there will complain about the allowances they are giving to you. It's typical. Mm-hmm. They do it across all liberal democracies. But if we were to have statute based institutions that speak to some of these challenges, would it not be nicer?
We do. These institutions too cannot afford to help everybody. Like Lagos State has a civic engagement essay on civic engagement. As a matter of fact, we just sent some letters to her to that office, seeking for assistance for people. But the amount of requests,
the essay is an executive appointee.
Yes.
Appointed by the executive governor.
Yes.
I'm talking of you using the instrumentality of the fact that you are a member of a legislative chamber to promote a bill. Look, let me give you a typical example. That make you. This government, the federal government, in the political history of Nigeria, has been the government that has launched out the most elaborate welfare program, from trader money to empower to, and yet as we are speaking now, those are basically executive policies that may have no traction beyond this administration. Even if an APC government comes in, why not somebody like you?
It might be difficult because don't forget we have 360 members representing 360 constituencies,
whose constituents all have challenges and needs that can be countenanced within the context of a functional institution.
By the time you bring such bill, you find out that your constituency might not even see the day of light because other constituencies need, especially in the north, the request that will come from there will outweigh your request, and it will be imbalanced, and some people would kick against it totally. And like you said, it now depends on ideology of the party or the government. Do we want more government in our lives or less government in our lives? So it's not something that an individual or the legislative arm of government can do. It is the executive arm of government that would, if that is possible, that would propose such to the House.
An executive bill.
Yes, because if we do it, like I said, we are 360 members. The chances of that such bill passing, it will be extremely slim. That we should create a social welfare office, whereby and as we speak already, we have social welfare under almost every ministry. The humanitarian Ministry of Humanitarian have social welfare under them. Niger Delta, Northeast, they all do have humanitarian arms under their ministries and agencies. So now coming with another law or a bill or to create such ministry, the chances that it abuses or it defeats the purpose of us trying to reduce replicating
agencies. Yes. And also, if that is, as you rightly pointed out, that your welfare institutions in some establishment laws or some establishment acts, how well, as a member of the House of Representatives, one of whose functions revolves around oversighting those establishments that came to being as a result of the powers of the statute, how well are you articulating the oversight to make sure that they at least function to the dictates of the acts, the provisions of the acts?
Well, that's one of the reasons why I always also try to educate people that the National Assembly is a huge institution that you cannot navigate in 4 years. So if you go
so they must re-elect you to make you a ranking senator and a ranking
yes
member.
They must not necessarily a ranking, well, obviously automatically you be a ranking member,
yeah.
But consistency
and you build influence,
exactly, all that also comes,
and that influence
will help
will revolve around, will be ultimately used to
better the
phenomenon.
Well, it's possible, but the bottom line is that the more you are there, the longer you are there, the better for your constituency, because you be able to navigate more. Like, for example, now I'm the deputy chairman in the Committee of Steel. Now, Steel has a Ministry of Steel, and then it has about 7 agencies: Ajaokuta Steel, Itakpe, Kaduna, and so on and so forth. And in 4 years, you cannot finish Ajaokuta alone. If you want to go into the nitty-gritty of it, in 4 years, you cannot finish Ajaokuta alone. So that is why we need
okay, maybe because this is quite related to the point you're trying to make, let me give this to you and you wrap it up with them. Evening Rep, I wonder why federal government projects littered Surulere, why other areas experience none.
Yeah, because first of all, Surulere is a small area, and then we are lucky to have the number 4 citizen of Nigeria representing Surulere. So he has enough budget to cover grounds. And even if you put
he has enough budget,
yes, as in that's what I was about to explain. Even if you put that budget aside, he has enough IOUs, because this job is also about IOU. He's been there since 2003. He has enough IOUs to the agencies for them to want to do it for him as a favor. So yes, Surulere is all the roads, almost, especially constituency 1, almost all. I don't even know one road that has not been interlocked or tarred and that does not have solar street light, because he is the number 4 citizen of the federation.
And you would naturally want that kind of opportunity replicated.
You need to go back at least one more time to get a quarter of what he's doing.
One more time, or 2 or 3, because this is Gbola Oba's 5th.
Yes, this is 5th. But I'm just saying that I'm not saying I'm not here.
No, if you're not
we're still looking at 2023.
2023, yeah.
Until we scale 2023 before we look at 2027. I believe that 2023 is in the bag. We just have to make sure we don't get our foot off the gas pedal, and we don't sleep with both eyes.
And I'm also trying to help you to let listeners know the importance of having a ranking member in the chamber, because what that does is that at some point, like you said, was it IOUs, yes, you call it, but the influence ultimately would be used to bring
so many things, bring
developmental projects,
employment, so many things that will come to you as a ranking member.
That's one of the points with which you want to campaign.
Yes,
for the election.
For a second time, I already have a few IOUs that I'm going to definitely call. As a second timer, I have the know-how, as opposed to going to go and ask how it's being done or waiting for instructions or directives. I already know, so I'm just going to plug right back in, and our letters are flying, our calls are flying without waiting for directives or asking how is this done or learning, making mistakes on the job. We already have a template that we're going to definitely better once we assume again come 2023.
070-322-77338 070-322-77338 or 090-9555-1039 090-9555-1039. Those are the numbers to call should you want to speak directly, ask questions of Honorable Ibrahim Babajide Obanikoro, fondly called Igbo, by his constituents, or if you want to send in WhatsApp or SMS messages. Now, I am one who believes that it's about time Nigeria did what the Italians have done, reduce the membership of their national legislative chambers, reduce it. Italy used to have about 900 members. They've reduced it now to 600. I am one who believes that given the expenditure incurred per capita on members of the House of Representatives and the Senate, that maybe even if we don't go unicameral, maybe we reduce the numbers. What's your take on it?
Well, sometimes the budget, the entire National Assembly budget is not up to 1% of the Federation's budget. So we are not Nigerians' problem at all. And I beat my chest to tell anybody to go and look at it, that both houses and whatever it is that we're taking on is definitely being put back into the constituencies. So if you scrap National Assembly, or if you make,
we're not saying scrap,
or if you make it into one,
we're not saying unicameral. Like I said earlier, I'm not saying reduce the numbers.
Now let me use Eti-Osa as a typical example. Now Eti-Osa spans from McGregor Canal in Obalende all the way to Majek, borderline Ibejuleki. That covers Obalende, Ikoyi, VI, Oniru, Ikate, Itedo, Ilasun, Igboefon, Ajiron, Agungi, Chevron Estate, Ikota Housing Estate 1, 2, 3, Oluwani, Shola, Lafiaji. Then from Lafiaji you jump onto the resettlement areas, up onto Aja, Ilaje, up onto Aja, up onto Badore, Langbasa, Ado. You now come to Crown Thomas Estate area. You cross over to Olokonla, Ibrahim Babajide Ogobo, Okwaja, Okumopo, Okwafa, all the way to Shongo. Now, one person representing all this area, it's not enough. It's not going to be effective. So there is no area, and my area and Alimosho is bigger than Eti-Osa. Just one person representing it, it's impossible. It's impossible. So if you reduce your membership at the National Assembly,
you are going to proximity of the representative.
Exactly, government will be further from the people, and a lot of the facilitations that we are being able to facilitate, as it is, like I said, I've only been able to do 8 roads in 3.5 years, and these 8 roads cover about 8 communities.
Oh, you are eventually agreeing with me that you've only been able to do
facilitate, because it's a huge area to cover.
Constituency.
It's a huge constituency to cover. I've been looking for 4 transformers since 2019. I've been able to get just 1 since 2019.
How do you look for transformers again when the power distribution companies are private entities, and
they also don't have enough money to distribute?
But they are not usually the ones who buy those stores. They make the customers buy those stores, and immediately you buy those contraptions, they put their imprimatur on it and start claiming it as their own asset.
That is also because they don't have enough money to buy these things.
No, you don't seem to have understood the injustice that I just portrayed that to you.
I just help a community in Ibrahim Babajide Thomas Estate fight this, because they bought the transformer, and Ecodisco was telling them to write a letter saying that they are donating the transformer to Ecodisco.
Well, that's what they make you do. They blackmail. They practically blackmail.
I understand.
So what are you doing?
What we do, like I said, is one of the reasons why I'm also trying to help, my constituents look for transformers.
No, I quite understand that, which is commendable,
that afford
which is laudable.
It takes time.
So I quite understand.
What I can do is to go to agencies, federal government agencies that do have transformers, and say,
such as which one? Oh, rural electrification agency
in Ibadan, and he's in Oyo State. Yeah. So then I've also gone to the Deputy Speaker's office, because he also has some agencies that he can also help us with his influence that we're trying to. So it's helping.
But I'm basically telling you now that many of your constituents, majority of them, would go out to buy their transformers themselves
in the areas that can afford it. There are some areas that cannot afford it.
I wish you could listen to this, so you will know what I'm driving at.
Okay, sir.
Many of your constituents, whether in the area where they can afford it, or whether in the area where Iyaleja, Iyalata, Baba Eleron would have to contribute money, when they have contributed those monies and they ultimately get those transformers or some other contraptions in the configuration of power distribution, I am telling you, sir, honorable, that the distribution companies then declares those assets as their own.
I know. I was in the same tone. I just told you.
So what are you going to do about it regarding legislation that under no circumstance must a commercial entity illegally appropriate the assets of your constituents?
I like one of the. It's never in their books. In fairness to them.
Okay, we go on a short break. We wrap the show up.
Baraka, mommy is calling you.
Hey, Risi, Joe, please buy me chill drink from Dogo.
Dogo, you there outside? I beg, help us bring one chill drink, come.
Risi, sorry, please check if it's your daddy that's at the door. You that your line had been blocked. How did you get the credit that you're using, K?
I linked my NIN to my MTN line and got 20k free airtime.
Yes, so link your NIN to your MTN line today and get 20,000 Naira bonus airtime. Visit any MTN center near you to begin.
Mommy, where are you going?
MTN Experience Center, of course. You think it's only you that like good tea, eh?
Terms and conditions apply.
This announcement is about Itedo land in Itedo community in the Eti-Osa local government. The Itedo community has won their case against the Elegushi family in the Court of Appeal. On 29 November 2016, the High Court of Lagos State gave a judgment in favor of the Elegushi family that they are the owners of the land in the Itedo community. The Itedo community appealed to the Court of Appeal. On 21st November 2022, the Itedo community won the appeal as the Court of Appeal set aside the judgment of the High Court of Lagos State. This announcement, therefore, is for the information of the general public that anyone who purchases land from the Elegushi family based on the judgment of the High Court, which was delivered on the 29th of November 2016, does so at his or her own risk. This announcement was brought to you by the Itedo community. Vehicle tracking just got better. Yray Trackers install web-based vehicle tracking devices on all kinds of vehicles or automobile. Monitor and track your vehicle in real time anywhere you are in the world from your mobile phone using Yray Trackers. Shut down and recover your vehicle in case of theft with Yray Trackers. To book an installation, phone or WhatsApp us on 080-5530-2073 or on our website at www.yray.com.ng. Visit us on Instagram at Yray Trackers. That is ROIETRACKERS.
If you go track your husband, our hand no deal.
Yray Trackers, your preferred GPS tracking partner.
Is the sleep that sweet? Your food is in the kitchen, oh.
Babe, where did you get this bed from? Back at home, my sleep is not this sweet though.
That's because you have not been sleeping with a Winkle mattress.
Winkle?
Yes, nah. I used to have a lot of sleep and rest challenges until I got to know about Winkle Sleep Solutions from a friend. They have various products that support whatever your sleep pattern is. They have mattresses fit for side sleepers, back sleepers, chest sleepers, orthopedic mattresses, dual side and exclusive mattresses, even the pillows, fiber pillows, memory pillow, and even maternity and childcare beddings.
Hey, this sounds amazing. Let me call.
That's not all. Winkle Foam has launched its e-commerce website where you can get what suits you best. You can even pay instrumentally, customize your mattresses and swap.
Wait, let me call my husband.
Visit www.wincofoam.com and get a 15% discount when you shop using the code NOFMWinco. Products also available from accredited resellers nationwide. Terms and conditions apply. Winco Foam. Live well. Sleep better.
This is Law FM 103.9.
Hello guys, my name is Dele Momodu and you are listening to Law FM 103.9 for knowledge and entertainment. Your only law radio station.
Power Corridor on Law FM 103.9.
Welcome back to the closing segment of Power Corridor on Law FM 103.9. Honorable Ibrahim Babajide Obanikoro to wrap up now, and he's been very tenacious, wanting to itemize all his accomplishments in the last couple of years. He's been in the House of Representatives, so that somebody does not end up punching my head when I go out of the studio. May we oblige him. You want to go for it?
Thank you very much, sir. I just want my good people of Eti-Osa. I want to thank Eti-Osans for the mandate that was given to me back in 2019, and since 2019 I've represented you, I want to believe, diligently. In the last 3.5 years, we've been able to facilitate 8 roads across Eti-Osa to help us reduce.
You want to mention the names of the roads so that we know that the roads are really tight,
one
not the imaginary.
One is in Odo Street in Obalinde. One is in Ado, Shola Omole in Badore. We in Ado, sorry. We have 3 of them in Osapa, London. We have one in Aja behind Alesh Hotel, and the latest one is being done at Iroko here opposite Ikate. So those are the 8 roads we have facilitated, and we did this because these are roads that we chose that if you don't want to get on the Lekki Ekpe Express, so you want to be within your community, these are roads that can help you get by from within your community. So no, you don't need to get on the express. That's one of the reasons why we did that. We've been able to facilitate 4 schools to Eti-Osa constituency 1, because the schools in Eti-Osa constituency 1 does not have enough facilities to take on more students. So this would enable them to take more students. And the one that I actually that makes me happy that I've been able to achieve for at least 3 elderlies. You know, before now they were not getting their pension paid, but with my intervention, they get paid now with
federal pension or state pension.
Federal pension from Pencom and from Pitad. They get their pension every month now, so I'm very happy about that. We've been able to help our artisans also. We train them, we give them equipment, and then they better themselves. We've been able to give our petty traders cash to increase their capital, and the hope and long run is that
so you too,
net income.
So you use trader money, they take campaign.
Yes. So they are
you don't think that is bribing the electors?
No, it's not. It's helping my people because they need it. Another thing that we have done is also free school bus that I mentioned about earlier. We've been able to facilitate 2 clinics in Lafiaji area of Eti-Osa. One is fully built and equipped. The other one is still.
You are running wild on time.
The other one is still ongoing. Unfortunately, but I mean, my details are jidekoro at yahoo.com, ibocampaign@gmail.com, ibo.org.ng is our website. My Twitter is jidekoro.
Your website tonight. Repeat that. Your website URL at
ibo.ng.org.ng ibo.org.ng. That's the website.
ibo.org. All the other information on how to contact the Honorable will be found on his website. I think this is where we need to wrap it up because we're well over time.
I'm sorry, sir. My people should just follow campaign, issue-based campaign, and IBO your neighbor is that neighbor that you can knock my door and ask for sugar, and I'll tell you, here, this is honey. It's
so you always sugar. Have to push the envelope, Abi.
No, it's better. Honey is better than sugar.
Thank
you, sir.
Okay, thank you very much. The program has been co-presented by Yray, co-presented and produced. Too much responsibilities now. This is of a woman. Okay then. This is where we wrap it up for this episode. Until Monday. Thank you.
Hold on tight.
My name is Honorable Akim Dixon. This is Honorable Adekunle Akobada. I'm Dele Momodu, and you are listening to Law FM 103.9.